scroll down and hit that like button, as well as subscribe and follow me on social media so you don't miss out on any news, scores, highlights, and more as the Celtics continue on their quest for Banner 19. What's up, everyone, and welcome into your Celtics source. Just a massive win for the Minnesota Timberwolves here in Game 4 to go up 3-1 and have the chance to upset the Lakers here in Game 5 on the road. I mean, where do we even start with this game? You know, I think we have to start with just what Anthony Edwards was able to do. Really, with both his playmaking and his scoring, right? 43 points, 12 of 23 shooting, played all but 4 minutes in this game. But, what I like best about his performance tonight was not his scoring. He was cooking early. So was Luka Dončić. So was LeBron James. But in the final 5 minutes of the game, the Lakers took him out of the game. They doubled him on almost every possession. They were blitzing from the opposite side of the court, basically leaving guys open on the Wolves to try and get the ball out of Anthony Edwards' hands. And Anthony Edwards, the improvement that he has made, the growth that he's shown this season. We remember at the beginning of the season, Ant had some comments about, how, he was frustrated that, teams were taking him out of the games, that he was not able to score down the stretch. And they started off, struggling. I think part of that is with the addition of Julius Randle to the team. It always going to take time to get rid of a key player in Cat and bring in a different player who has, somewhat of a different skill set. They're pretty similar, but Cat is much better in transition and shooting threes. Julius Randle likes to take it slow and sort of pound the way into the paint, and so it took time. But right now, I mean, they look fantastic. Anthony Edwards, right? Just the trust in his teammates to, I know I'm not going to be able to finish this game off scoring wise, but I can make some passes and I have the confidence that my teammates will knock it down. And they definitely did. I mean, Reid with a huge three to put them up. And then, a costly turnover. Wasn't even actually not a turnover, a foul by LeBron James. It got challenged. Originally, it was called a out of bounds on Anthony Edwards, but it's shown that replay showed that LeBron slapped his wrist as he was going up for a shot. And so, that puts the game out of reach. But, you look at the Lakers here, and, LeBron James scores 27 points and plays all but 2 minutes in the game, right? The Lakers, their starting five played the entire second half. Um, you know, LeBron James goes for 27. Luka Dončić goes for 38. Rui Hachimura steps up. We haven't seen him much in the other first three games, and he steps up for 23 points. Austin Reeves has 17 points. So that should be enough, with key contributions, with small contributions from other guys to get you the win. But we saw, first of all, they had no contributions off their bench. Just 6 points from Dorian Finney-Smith. Naz Reid had 12 points for the Wolves, along with DiVincenzo and Nickeil Alexander with 8 and 5, respectively. But the problem with the Lakers is their defense, which, and not specifically their defense, but, well, their defense in general, but specifically their center position, right? They don't have a center. We knew this when they made that trade. They tried to get Mark Williams from the Hornets, and, he didn't pass his physical. So they had to resend it. But we see here that it's costing them in these late game stretch because Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle and other guys are allowed to just, put him in rotation, Jackson Hayes, that is, in rotation and attack him. And then when LeBron, Luka come over to, try and double, it's an easy kick out for any of these guys here. Right? You have Jackson Hayes, Austin Reeves, Luka Dončić, Rui Hachimura, and Jackson Hayes, or I said Jackson Hayes, but LeBron James, maybe two of those are at best average defenders. LeBron James, he's definitely an average defender. He had a fantastic block late in this game. You know, when he needs to, he has the ability to, go into that prime LeBron James from like 5-10 years ago when he was making those blocks and whatever. But for most of the game, he's just coasting on defense, which makes it, really easy for the Wolves to stay in the game. Right? They go down a little bit in the third, but they stay in the game. They're able to, tie the game up. And then when it comes to crunch time, you would think that Austin Reeves, the combination of Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic, LeBron James, should be able to get you a win with any three of those. But I think what we're seeing here is there's just, the ball's in Luka's hands, and you know he's actually getting. He has not been able to take advantage of the centers down the stretch. Right, for most of the game, he's been attacking the centers, and if we remember last year, he had that, you know, basically made Rudy Gobert look like a child on that play to win I think it was maybe game 1 or 2, where he, just has Gobert dancing. But down the stretch, the Wolves have done a great job of keeping Rudy off of him, and Julius Randle, another guy that you know Luka would go to next if he can't go at Rudy, has done a great job of contesting shots, not fouling. He did have a unfortunate foul late in this game where he's just got a little too close when Luka was shooting, and Luka goes to the line. But for the most part, he's been basically clamps in the final 5 minutes of the game. And then, you know, the Wolves, they have just the one guy that makes the plays, right? Anthony Edwards, just one guy. The team sort of revolves around him. He's not the one scoring, obviously, because he's being doubled, which I talked about earlier. But at least, you know, it's very consistent type of offense. He is going to make the plays for others. Whereas, you have three different ball handlers on the Lakers, and sometimes you just need one guy that's doing the work. When you have three guys that are all competing to try and do the same thing, you know, it makes it a lot harder because while all of them can individually score on their own, you know, you don't really know if you're the Lakers on, who has the best shot, who should take the shot. They all think they can take the shot, and sometimes that hurts their offense because there's too many guys trying to take up the same position. But as for the Wolves, well, as for the Lakers, I said this at the beginning of the playoffs. This was a team that could go all the way to the finals, or they could lose in the first round, and it's looking like they're going to lose in the first round on just some brilliance from Anthony Edwards, showing maturing as this season has progressed. Just unbelievable from him. What stands out from this game even more? Um, you know, this was a game where the both coaches did not go very deep into their bench. A very Eastern Conference or Conference Finals, NBA Finals type of rotation, right? We see no Dalton Connect. We see no. Well, that's really all the Lakers have because the others, Bronny James, Ig Milton, haven't played much throughout the regular season. But as for the Wolves, they don't play Joe Ingles, Luke Garza, Leonard Miller, uh, Josh Minute. So just very almost everyone on the starters played, you know, 30 to 40 minutes. And then as for the Lakers, you have Luka, James, Hachimura all playing 40+ minutes. James and Luka play 46 out of 48 total minutes, which is crazy because, luckily they have a day off, but I feel like, they're going to wear down, and I think the Wolves are going to I think they're going to blow them out. Even though it is a must-win game for the Lakers and you think they'd be ready, I think the Wolves see their opportunity here and they're not going to blow it. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Obviously, we will be live tonight after the game for Celtics live reaction. Please make sure to follow me on social media. And until next time, go Celtics. And I'm actually rooting for the Wolves because, obviously, as a Celtics fan, I don't want the Lakers to win.
It's over. Time to say it again, Boston. Anything's possible. Banner number 18 has been secured.